Hi, I'm Midge Shoemaker, and today is day 36 of my doing 100 days of YouTube videos and focusing on recognizing God's hand in my life. So, yay for day 36. So today I am very grateful. I had kind of a busy day, and probably more of a physically exhausting day because I just did more than I normally would do. I substituted for someone at the temple today from 2 to 6, which means I got to walk in the heat like I did on Saturday to the temple at like 1:30 in the afternoon and home again at 6 o'clock at night, and nice and hot outside for me. So, and then I got to go back to the temple tonight and clean. So, my thing where I know God was watching me and taking care of me is that I got rides to and from the temple tonight, and I didn't ask anybody. I kind of asked the other service missionary that was there tonight. I asked him if he'd give me a ride, and he's been out of town for the last 2 weeks. So I was like, so glad he was back so he could give me a ride tonight. But one of the custodial workers at the temple actually lives like 3 doors down from me, and she happened to be going for her shift. She was going to be there for 4 hours. I was only going to be there for 2, so she stays until 1:30 in the morning, and I get to go at 11:30. So at night. So anyway, but we both had to be there at 9:30. So I happened to be walking by her house, and she just kind of rolled down the window and she's like, "You want a ride?" And I'm like, "Yes," because she knew exactly where I was going because we talked, and it's like we didn't realize we lived that close to each other until one time we were talking about where I lived, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I live right down there too." So then she's like, "I've noticed you walking before." So we figured out we're neighbors, which is really kind of cool. So we see each other. And I wish I could remember her name, but I don't remember her name. I recognize her face though. So I've seen her a few times and we've just kind of waved. But I know, I was so grateful to God today. I was like, thank you for the ride, because I was so sore from working at the temple earlier today, and then going again tonight and having to clean and do stuff. And my shoulder is really sore right now. Somebody patted my arm afterwards, like one of the volunteers. She's like, "Oh, thank you so much." And I was like, "Ow, that hurts that you touched me." And she didn't like do it really hard. It was just really lightly. But I have physical therapy tomorrow, so maybe that will help. I hope that helps and doesn't make it worse. But anyway, I'm very grateful for God in my life, and I'm so grateful for the rides. I'm like the timing just to be so perfect to have someone just like already in their truck in their driveway ready to pull out, and they just like sat there. It looked like they were waiting for me to just walk down 3 doors down to get a ride, and I'm like, "Oh, you're waiting for me." It felt that way to me, and I don't know that it necessarily was. I think she just got out and got ready and just happened to see me walking and then decided to give me a ride. But for me it felt like God had arranged a ride for me because that's what I needed today, and I'm very grateful for that. And also, I learned something about myself tonight. I love learning things about myself. That sounds kind of weird, but it's true. It's kind of getting to know myself, and I get to know myself through these videos and through my journaling and my writing and things like that. I also process out a lot of trauma and other things in my life by doing these things too. So anyway, when I was there cleaning tonight, I was telling the couple that was the volunteers that were helping in my area that I'm like, I'm just really slow. I just go really slow. I don't know. I'm like, I'd love to say that it's because I'm like meticulous and all of that stuff, but I'm like, it's not. I'm just slow. That's all there is to it. I'm just slow. And then I was talking to the sister that was there to help, and she was saying that, oh, it's like, oh yeah, the more you do it, the faster you get. And it's like, I've just been doing this so long. I think that's why I'm just so fast at it. And I'm like, and then I was explaining to her, I'm like, yeah, but when I go fast, I get anxious, and I feel like I'm rushed, and I get anxious, and I make mistakes, and I don't feel like I do as good of a job, and then I beat myself up, and then I think I just end up taking twice as long whenever I try to rush through something. Um, but I realized that I'm like, I do that perfectionism comes out in me, and I'm like, it still has to be perfect, it still has to be good, but I have to do it really fast, and I can't focus when I'm anxious and my adrenaline is pumping. I'm like, I can't think clearly, and then I make all of these mistakes, and I'm like, I can't do things like that, and I can't rush myself to do things. I try. And I have rushed through things. I've rushed through things for work or for other people or other things in my life when I've had to be somewhere, do something. And I always forget something. I always mess something up and I always have to go back and fix it every time. And I still never finish as fast as everybody else. So I'm just like, ah. But I have learned over the years, without even realizing it, that if I just take the time to breathe and I just do go slowly, one step at a time, I can do it. And I do just fine and I can get it done. And yes, it takes me longer than everybody else, but I can still do it. And it's okay. It will get done. And it doesn't matter because that's the best that I can do. That's the time frame in which I can do it, which is probably also why I always think that something should take a certain amount of time, and it always takes longer than I think it will because it always takes me longer to do everything. But I'm like, that's okay because now I know that in order for me to do things, I have to slow down to do it. I have to take my time to do it. And yes, I am sure over time, if I was, not as overweight and out of shape as I am, I probably could have gone a little bit faster simply because I can walk faster when I don't weigh as much, have a little more energy. I can do a little bit more. But it's not because I'm forcing myself to go like speedy. I'm not trying to rush. It's just because, yes, over time, if you do things enough times, you get a little bit better at it, just due to the fact that you're being repetitious at it. And yes, the healthier I get and the more weight I lose or the more muscles I gain and all of those things, the easier it will be for me to do all of those things. but right now I know that I'm overweight and I'm out of shape and I'm still recovering injuries from car accidents, so I don't have extra energy to do extra stuff or to go extra fast. So I go extra slow because I'm trying not to re-injure myself and because I just don't have the energy. But I am so grateful that, because I only got 2 people to help in my area, and sometimes it takes 3 to 4 people just to do that area in 2 hours, which is all the time we have to clean. And well, actually, I think it's more like an hour and a half by the time we actually do it. But I was so grateful that I got a couple that were fast tonight. They were just speedy, and we got the whole area done and then some. Like we got to do some of the extra stuff that we don't normally get to, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I don't always get this far with 4 volunteers, and I got this far with 2 volunteers tonight, and I'm the slow one. So I also felt super blessed. Like God was just totally helping me out tonight because not only did He remind me and show me that it's okay for me to do things slowly, it's okay for me to take my time and to not feel rushed when I do stuff. And I realized as I was writing in my journal that that also applies to everything else in my life. I don't have to do it at the pace that everyone else does. I don't have to find a job as quickly as everyone anticipates that I should, or the way everyone else thinks that I need to do things in my life. I can't. I can't compare myself. I can't compete with other people, and I can't rush myself to do anything because rushing and things like that stresses me out. And then I make mistakes. I feel like I have to do things over again and I just can't think clearly. So I am so grateful that I am not rushing myself, forcing myself to do things right now. But I'm also so grateful for the people that were there to help and to clean. It's like God knew that I did not have the energy at this point tonight. And I was like, there is no way. And I knew when I had 2 people, I was like, great, we're not even getting half the area that I was supposed to get cleaned tonight. And we got all of it cleaned. And I am so grateful. I am so amazed by all of that. I was like, wow, we did all of it because the 2 people that God sent to my area, because it wasn't me, because I'm slow and I don't even do a third of what they did. So I'm taking my sweet little time. I'm like, I'm all done with this. And I'm like, oh, you can come help me. And I'm like, and you got the bigger section and you're all done. You're amazing. So I love that. I just feel like I was so blessed and taken care of today because I was pushing myself physically to do more than I normally do. And I know that's good. I need to push myself. I need to do more physically because it will help me with my weight loss goals, and it will help me to build the muscles that I need. But I can't go fast. I have to go very slow. And so I am so grateful that I had other people that could go very fast, and it totally made up for where I was falling short today, and it made it okay. And I am so grateful for that today. I'm so grateful for all the ways that God is blessing me in my life. And I know that He is there and blessing all of you in your lives as well. Just have to look around or ask God to show you where he is in your life, and he will answer your prayers, and I know that is true. And that is all that I have for today. So if you like these videos, you can hit like, subscribe, share with someone else if you think they'll like them too. They'll like them too. See, I talk too fast and then I mess things up. Can't do that. Anyway, that is all I have for today. So I hope you have a great day full of gratitude and find ways to recognize God's hand in your life too.